a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you be a more informed consumer, making you more street smart here on the Consumer QB Show. Online at consumerqb.com. Jennie Restrepo in the house. Insured Title Agency. We got a lot of ground to cover with Jennie. Check fraud, wire fraud. We got a Greater Tampa Realtor Association golf tournament coming up, and some other interesting facts that we're going to discuss with her. Also, Heather Callahan filling in for Robert Paredes Flux Funding as well. So we're going to talk a lot about real estate today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And of course, as you know, we cover a lot of other topics. We have great expert contributors from the lines of self-defense, boating, yachting, private pilots, home service providers, CPA, financial advice, so many different ways. ConsumerQB.com unlocks that key for you, though. It's all there online at ConsumerQB.com. You can also call the hotline as well, 727-263-3707. You can call or text that hotline, 727-263-3707. And it's probably a good idea just to save that number in your phone. You never know when you might need it. We've got great attorneys that can help you with lots of different areas as well. So save our hotline. At some point, you may need it. All right, quick shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill, the Tampa restaurant partner for the Consumer Quarterback Show. They do a great job. Excellent food over at the International Plaza Mall at West Shore there. Great opportunity. They do catering, excellent food, great lunches, and they do have weekends as well open as well. Brio Tuscan Grill, fine dining, Italian food, wonderful food there as well. Say hello to Joseph. He's the manager. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you, and he'll also hook you up with a free water with lemon. All you got to do is ask for it. He'll hook you up every time.
Brandon, I go. They have excellent happy hour specials too if you sit in the bar area.
Nice. Okay, happy hour specials. Thank you for that, Jennie. I appreciate you throwing that in there. Yeah, Brio, awesome restaurant, longtime friend of the program. All right, so a couple of interesting stories I want to get to as well. We got renters, Monday morning melancholy. It's rent growth is slowing, but it still exceeds income growth over the past 38 years. Interesting content there, as well as I got a clip I'm going to play from Charlie Kirk talking about rents as well, and some of the boomers' advice to younger kids coming up here. But let's jump right into it. After a couple of hot listings here, we've got a couple of listings that I want to let you know about here in Tampa Bay. We've got a property at 9731 San Vincent Way. This is a recently reduced property for us, 9731 San Vincent Way, Port Richey. We updated the color scheme in the kitchen as well. We painted those to gray. You got neutral colors throughout as well. Complete remodel 1 year and a half ago. Top to bottom remodel, new roof, new AC, air ducts, electrical components, hot water heater, appliances. 9731 San Vincent Way, Port Richey, Florida, Pasco County. One of our hot listings, 13906 Bardmore Place, townhome available for sale in Carrollwood, one of the most highly sought after areas in all of Tampa Bay. It's a golf course community, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, almost 2,100 square feet of living space, hurricane impact windows throughout. You also have a 5-person jacuzzi, beautiful trees in the backyard, avocado and banana trees, and a golf course view. 13906 Bardmore Place, Unit B in Tampa. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right, Jennie Restrepo back in studio, and we are continuing that line of kind of that theme that we've had the last few times you've been on, that people are trying to pull these these crime stories.
I mean, I wish that I would come in one day and say, because we've been messaging this, no consumers that listen to the show have been victims of fraud, and Tampa Bay is safe. So it's my continued crusade to protect our consumers here in the Tampa Bay area. But yes, more fraud is happening. We just had a story from our underwriters that, this is actually the craziest part. A seller waited 2 weeks to call the title company, not Insured Title Agency, but to call the title company to say, hey, my $500,000 sale proceeds didn't hit my account yet.
Wow.
Where is my money?
You'd think they'd
2
be looking
weeks.
for that a little bit more aggressively.
I mean, I would be missing my $500,000 after,
yeah.
a couple hours. I'm like, yo, where's my money?
Yeah.
But no, they waited 2 weeks. And so when it comes to something like that, the money is gone. If you call quickly, if you act quickly, sometimes you can recall the wire, you can bring it back. There are some obviously safety procedures available through many banks that if you catch it fast,
quickly,
like hour or two.
Within an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At Insured Title, we actually did have somebody call in and say, oh, I wired my funds, but it was a different number. And we were like, no, call now. When did you do that? Oh, just did. Okay, call them back. Do it now. But unfortunately, in this situation, the fraudsters spoofed the seller's information, bank account, and wiring, and the title company directly wired $500,000 to an erroneous account.
Wow. Yeah.
And they have a procedure that they have to follow as well, which is making a telephone call to confirm with the customer what their correct information is. And unfortunately, I don't know that this title company followed that procedure before sending the wire, and so they may be on the hook. Not everything is just covered by your insurance, and it's a whoopsie-daisy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, but that money's gone. There's a $500,000 gone.
Right.
Wow.
So if the insurance company ultimately decides to make the client whole, that title company may go out of business.
Yeah, I mean,
it's that devastating.
That's a big hit. You can't take a $500,000 hit.
No. And so, unfortunately, wire fraud is still very prevalent. And so the lesson there is whenever you are transferring money or paying money electronically, please ensure that everything is correct. Never click on something or pay for something that doesn't make sense, that you don't remember ordering. Never transfer money for any transaction without calling on the telephone to the number the published number in Google, and, be that person who's like me and do it 2, 3, 4, 5, as many times as you need to feel comfortable, because especially at Insured Title, we will never get frustrated with a customer that calls more than once to confirm. It's the ones that just we never heard from, and now there's a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then they want to point the finger later.
I mean, it's a devastating situation to everyone, so we don't want that to happen to anyone, whether it's quote-unquote our fault, their fault. At that point, you're not really pointing fingers. You're just trying to, scramble for some sort of solution. But the solution is don't make the mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Be diligent. Be careful with your money. Be careful with your account numbers. And double and triple check things, especially when it comes to funds to purchase a home, which could be, $10,000, $100,000, however, that's a lot of money. Yeah.
And you got to, here's what happens is they take a certain email and your logos, they'll rip them down offline, and they'll put a dot in there or a dash somewhere.
Yes.
And it looks identical. Everything looks the same. It all looks the same, but there's a dot or a dash in the email address.
Okay, here is something I'm going to tell you, because I got a fraud text, which was allegedly from a local bank, which I don't bank with. So they're like, your account has been compromised, but I already know I don't have a bank. I don't have an account with that bank. But if they send enough of them, somebody's going to have an account with that bank. And so when you're dealing with the reputable business, like when you call to the show or go to the website for this show, it's consumerqbshow.com.
Right.
And then if Brandon was offering a promotion or an event or something, it would be /event promotion, whatever. Just like at insured-title.com. And then / we have our new listing service or something like that. It'll never change the name. So it'll never be Consumer QB Show, send me all of your money.com. Right? That's not how that works, because now you're not going to the original website. And so that's what they did. They used the name of this bank.
Yeah.
Alerts.com. Okay? That's not a thing. that reputable bank would not add that word in their website.
Right.
It would be at the end after the .com.
Got
so
it.
if you ever see something like that, that's a red flag right away.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also this theme now too. Of course, we had Matt Cox on the show. He was American Greed's top FBI's most wanted, this or that,
Yes.
Years ago. But he's doing a lot of fraud down in Ybor City, et cetera. But are you seeing an amount of that as well? Are you seeing people or hearing about it, following the stories on that? Because they will actually go online, and there's ways that they can record satisfactions of mortgages, pull out equity, literally steal the home.
Everything can be done electronically. We are still seeing the traditional kind of fraud. We're seeing vacant listing fraud. So not just like stealing a property from someone that you think is deceased with no heirs, but going as far as representing yourself as the rightful seller and selling to an unsuspecting third party.
Yeah.
I know another colleague here in the community, she's an attorney. They were handling a closing, and it got down to everything was basically signed, but the ID that the person provided to the notary, the picture matched, the name matched, but the address seemed weird. So they did a little bit of digging and found out that it was a completely fake ID, but like Florida, it looked like the state of Florida issued physical driver's license. So not even just like texting a picture or a photocopy, presented an actual physical license that looks like it was issued from the state of Florida.
Wow.
With the correct seller's name, but they didn't think to change the address.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. So they were so close.
They were very close. And in that situation, they might have gotten away with it, because if you have an ID, you can definitely go and open this bank account. And when basically, as soon as the money hits, they clear it all off and shut the account.
Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
It doesn't just sit there.
Yep.
It happens super fast. That's the best way.
And they're gone.
And they're gone.
One of the challenges, by the way, we're talking with Jennie Restrepo here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Insured Title Agency is her company, and I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host of the show, also owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. One of the challenges that I see right now is the affordability for everybody, but it really hits early 20s. People that have just maybe graduated college, got out of trade school. They're a contractor now, a plumber, electrician, or they're starting their life. They want to get married.
Yes.
They want to have kids. They want to live the American dream. And that American dream can be many things. It can be owning a business. It can be owning home ownership, et cetera, starting a business. But one of the challenges right now is affordability, this idea of affordability, this income that is not there, that, the growth of income versus the rents. And if people are renting, they're paying way too much than they should be. They can own for less, yes, even with the 7 and 7.5% interest rates, et cetera. But I got a clip I want to play. This was from fellow Salem Media show host Charlie Kirk.
The price to fill a tank of gas has doubled. And something that I hear a lot is some older people, baby boomers, God bless them, say, Charlie, why don't the kids just work harder? The American dream is alive and well. Not for a 26-year-old. It isn't. And I'm not one to play victim politics. So if I'm saying this, you guys should listen very carefully. But I'm talking to these kids on campus. They own nothing. They own nothing. So they're going to enter into a workforce, and the only way they could probably even make ends meet is maybe a loan from their parents. Try going into the Phoenix housing market at age 25. Rent alone is going up 15 to 20% a year in Phoenix. Trying to get married. Please, I want anyone that's talking down to these kids, like Tim Scott, who just rehearses this disgusting chamber of commerce.
Anyway, so he goes off on Tim Scott there. But, and here's a stats that I pulled offline as well. From 1985 to 2023, the national median rent price rose over 150%, while the overall income grew just 35%. So that's a huge challenge. That's a huge discrepancy there. Rent-to-income ratios have doubled during that period, meaning more purchasing power has been declined. 58% of renters are living paycheck to paycheck. And what a challenging time overall, too. Charlie mentioned gas doubled, record low savings rate, record high credit card debt, record high student loan debt as well is another big one. So it doesn't matter, and this transcends colors. Of course, the melanin content of your skin means nothing to me. It means nothing to my friend, people that listen to this show or this station. Black, brown, blue collar workers are hurting now more than ever, Jennie.
Well, I would say, you're talking about rent going up and wages not really going up. One of the biggest factors that I see is the wage disparity. Mm-hmm. What does the lowest level worker of a corporation make? What does the CEO make?
Exactly. That's a good
back
point.
When boomers were in the workforce,
yep.
Then that was maybe the CEO made 25 times what the lowest paid worker of the company made.
Yep.
Now they make 2,500 times.
Yep.
And so that wage disparity, and
yep.
my belief, is crushing the middle class and crushing people who are starting out and wanting to
yep.
start to begin their lives of building wealth and purchasing homes and growing families. And so I would like to see us address the corporations, but
yep.
I will say here in Florida, with the Live Local Act, there are a couple of things that Florida has done to help with affordability. One of those. Let's
save that till the next break. So this is a great tease, though.
So stay tuned because
we got to go to break.
There's some hope. Okay, it's not all doomsday. There's some hope. So stay tuned.
Live Local Act, local housing, and also we're going to talk about grant money that's available too. How many thousand was it?
Up to $6,000 that you do not have to pay back.
Awesome. So stay tuned right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More with Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title Agency, coming up here. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show on Instagram. Of course, our YouTube channel has over 2,300 videos there. Brandon Rhymes Realty on YouTube. We'll be right back. More with Jennie Restrepo coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
I want to give a special thanks to Satellite Phone Store. They just hooked me up with this beautiful satellite phone, and it's a gorgeous phone. It's a great device. It's a safety device as well. Think about it. If you're out on the boat 40, 50 miles out, maybe you're going hunting or you're going hiking in the woods somewhere, you run out of cell phone service, or who knows, maybe a possible terrorist attack. It's not like our politicians aren't entrenched in all this stuff going on overseas, all over the place, all over the world. Could be a terrorist attack. They could attack the power grid. They could attack the cell phones. Who knows what they're going to attack next. Sat123.com/REQB. Sat for satellite. Sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title Agency. We're going to talk about how you can access that grant money. There's money that's available for you, and also the Live Local Act as well coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we do, I want to plug one of our sponsors, West Coast Windows. They do a great job. West Coast Premier Window Cleaning.com. Say hello to Brian and his team. If you're looking for cleaning on your windows, residential, commercial properties, West Coast Premier Window Cleaning.com. Say hello to Brian. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They do a great job. They clean my home personally as well. They do such a great job out there. All right, Jennie Restrepo in studio coming up here. A couple of hot listings here before we jump back into it. We've got some great opportunities here for properties in Tampa Bay. 605 Monterey Avenue is another listing of ours in Clearwater in Pinellas County. This is a great home, beautiful property here. 605 Monterey Avenue in Clearwater. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, just shy of 2,200 square feet. You got a non-flood zone, centralized Clearwater location, newer hot water heaters, AC roof as well, circular driveway with a large courtyard in the front, and it's kind of a cul-de-sac style home because you don't have a neighbor to the one side there. You got a screened-in pool, beautiful property here, great open floor plan at 605 Monterey Avenue in Clearwater, Florida. Also, let's look at this land that we've got available, 2817 Gulf City Road, 2817 Gulf City Road. This is a property that we've got prime land for development. It's on the Little Manatee River, 23 acres on the Little Manatee River here in Tampa Bay. Motivated seller, can be subdivided into multiple lots. You have deep water access, direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. 2817 Gulf City Road, Ruskin, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinumcoastalelite.com.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
All right, Jennie Restrepo, what else you got going on? Tell us about that grant. I think everybody wants to hear about that.
Okay, so I do have some good news when I come to this show.
Nice.
One thing that is here in Tampa Bay is our Realtor Care Foundation. The Realtors Care Foundation is funded mostly by real estate agents as a way of giving back to the customers in the community. It is a grant. Well, what does that mean? It means some down payment assistance you have to repay when you sell your home. This is a grant, so you are given this money. You do not have to repay it no matter how long you stay in the home. It is only available for owner-occupied primary residences, but it's called Realtor Care Foundation. And so how would you make an application for that? Well, talk to your real estate agent like Brandon, and they can get you connected with the application and the criteria of what you need to do. But if you want to just check it out and learn more and support the community, maybe you're not looking to buy, but you want to help and give to the community, come to the Greater Tampa Realtors Golf Tournament on Monday, October 23rd. We'll be playing at beautiful Hunter's Green, and you can just be a friend of the show. You don't have to be a real estate agent, but if you're a real estate partner and you'd like to be at an event where there's going to be real estate agents, board members, people from the local community, our CEO, then please join us for a really fun afternoon that also benefits this community. That is October 23rd, Monday at Hunter's Green. And just simply call into the show for more details of how to sign up. And if you want to sponsor, we also have whole sponsorships available.
Now, another major issue right now is the commercial space, commercial
Yes.
real estate. There is just a lot of underutilized commercial space, and locally in Tampa Bay, you had also mentioned there's a Live Local Act.
Yeah, so the Live Local Act is actually here for the entire state of Florida. And what Brandon was mentioning is as many companies are transitioning to work from home, we have existing office spaces that's sitting empty. So now what do? Well, we have an affordable housing crisis. We have an overabundance of underutilized office space. And so wrapped into the Live Local Act is a way for developers and investors to quickly cut through the red tape and the bureaucracy that's typically involved in rezoning a development. So a quick process to get that changed over, and then you can convert underutilized office space into living space. And if the owner and developer offers that then converted living space at what we consider an affordable rate to consumers, then that developer will also get significant tax breaks and tax savings.
Nice. I like
Yes.
that. That's really utilized. We need to utilize that because right now you have negative absorption in a lot of commercial buildings and towers, and you've got repurposing of malls happening. I believe in Miami, certain areas. We got about a minute left. Final thoughts.
So all this and more can be found on our socials. I try to post articles all the time about how to protect yourself from fraud, what's going on in the community. So follow us on all the socials at Insured Title Agency, or always give the show or us a call if you have a question, anything title related. Even if we're not on the deal, we're here to help you. So we Insured Title Agency, your fraud busting team.
That's right, fraud busting. They're going to give you great guidance throughout the whole entire process. It's been a pleasure working with them over the years. The service level is a key element that I really appreciate when I think about my clients, because we're in a referral business. No matter what business you're in the people business, and it's all about referrals. So the better you treat that client, the more informed they are, and of course, you're avoiding and helping as a consumer advocate in a sense with these fraud stories. So we appreciate that, Jennie.
Thank you. Well, it matters a lot to us. We appreciate all of the business, and we take care of every single person because we know sometimes we're the last ones you see, and so we want to leave a lasting, amazing impression so that you're happy either getting your keys or getting your check and moving on.
That's right. Good stuff. All right. Check them out online. Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title. Coming up, Heather Callahan filling in for Robert Paredes Flux Funding on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to just explore a little bit more about what's going on with the Fed, interest rates, and more. ConsumerQB.com. Check us out online, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate